This is Mike Regan with GameRing.com with AJ Styles, the phenomenal one. AJ, thank you for talking to us. Tell us a little bit about your work with TNA Impact.
Well, right from the beginning, me and Samoa Joe and Christopher Daniels came in and talked about what great games have come out in wrestling. Now, granted, there hasn't been any since Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 or the No Mercy game. You know, those were great games. The WCW game, those were fun games by Aki. Those were the last fun games that I've played as wrestling. Was involved. But this game is something special because it's going to have the same gameplay, similar, not the same, but similar gameplay, which is fun, easy to pick up. Anybody can pick it up and play with it. And when it comes to wrestling, that's what it's all about. You just want to be able to have fun. And, easy to play, hard to master. I'm sure you heard that before. And you'll probably hear the same thing from Samoa Joe. That's what we're looking for, and I think that's what you're going to get. And we were involved with, from the start, all the way to the end, we'll be involved. A bunch of the wrestlers were hands-on. We're video game players, so we know what video game players want, and it's been a blast.
Now, you mentioned No Mercy and how it had an impact, so to speak, on the game. What other wrestling games do you think that you borrowed from, or I should say, were influenced by TNA Impact?
Well, if you guys have seen the screenshots, you know that most of those, I like to use Virtual Pro Wrestling 2. If you got it's a Japanese game, it's probably the best Japanese game as far as wrestling or wrestling is concerned as video games, the best one I've ever played. And you can see a lot of that in our video game. We took a lot of that stuff because it was so great of a game. And it's a shame there's not been another like that since. So there's a lot of influence from that game, probably the most, actually.
Are you a Fire Pro fan?
Not as much as you would think. I don't know what it was about Fire Pro. I guess I was so hooked on the Aki games that it was always in comparison. So I was much more of an Aki fan than the Fire Pro. But Fire Pro, the great thing about Fire Pro is that they had a lot of characters on there. Yeah. Or if they didn't, you could make them. Yeah. And that's what made them different. That's what made them special. So hopefully we'll be able to do the same thing with TNA Impact.
Now tell us a little bit about the motion capture that you did and what moves yours are going to be in the game.
Well, every move, as far as motion capture, you're going to get everybody's moves. We're not going to leave anything out. The reason why they had us guys come in and make sure we do the moves because we know everybody in TNA, and and we're able to pull off all their moves. If we can't, we'll bring them in and have them do their moves themselves. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to do Ron Killing's twisting elbow or kick. I don't know. We may have to bring him in, but that's the thing that's so great about Midway and TNA. We're working together to make this the best wrestling game you have ever played. If you want to do a move that Samoa Joe does, AJ Styles does, Christopher Daniels, P.D. Williams, Canadian Destroyer, you're going to be able to do it in this game.
Now, you have a big match tomorrow, Bound for Glory, against the Tag Team Champions.
Yes.
And what do you think about that, man? What are your strategies going in? What's your game plan?
To get my hands on Pac-Man Jones and kill him. Actually, we're going to go in there and just have a great match, man. I don't know what really to expect. I don't think the fans know what to expect, but I can tell you it's going to be very entertaining, and that's what it's all about.
Now, TNA Impact's coming out in spring of 2008.
Right.
How much better do you think the game can get from what we're seeing tonight?
It's definitely got a lot. You're only playing half of the game tonight, basically. So there's going to be a lot more things added, like moves. There's not a lot of move sets right now because they're still working on that stuff. Everything is started. This game had to start from scratch. There was nothing to borrow from anything else. So everything started from scratch. So we got to put every one of these moves in, every one of them, and that's a lot of moves. You think about how many guys are on our roster. We got to put every one of those moves in. So there's a lot of moves to do, and it's going to be a lot more fun when you can do a lot more moves. That's fun to me. I don't even know where I was going with it. I'm talking about this so much. But regardless, there's a lot more to be done to this game before it's totally finished. This is just a small version of what you're going to get, a small version.
It looks really excellent, actually. The graphics are, without a doubt, are probably the best I've ever seen in a wrestling game. And the work is phenomenal. And what really surprised me the most is the animations and the motion of the moves itself and how the impact of the moves. How hard was it to capture the impact of the moves getting the velocity and the slam and the...
Well, you know what? That's why it's easy, because Midway is so great about making sure that stuff the small things that make the game so great. They're putting the small things in there, like when you kick a guy to the gut, he reacts to the gut. If you kick him in the face, he's going to react to his face. I mean, it's not all the same motion, so it's so much better that way. I mean, it's just the little things that I appreciate, and I'm sure that the fans will appreciate. And Midway's good about bringing that out because they put that in there. That's all Midway, so that's what makes this game so special, that Midway wants to make sure that you see every little detail on here, that we don't leave out anything.
AJ Styles, thank you for having a chance to talk with us.